Gout's got a 5-metre lead. He might be holding on. Kennedy's coming home hard. Gout's got 50 metres left to go. Kennedy's trying to close the gap. The gap's getting shorter and shorter, but Gout's going to take the victory. What's the clock say? 46.18.
Gout Gout isn't just fast. He's redefining what speed looks like. At only 17, Australia's sprinting phenom has already rewritten records and stunned veterans around the globe. But his latest announcement? It's something no one saw coming, a bold move that's left fans wondering what's next for track and field's youngest superstar. Most high schoolers are worried about exams and graduation. Gout Gout, he's out here rewriting history. In his final school meet, the prestigious GPS Track and Field Championships in Brisbane, Gout didn't just run, he demolished. Opting out of his signature 200-meter event, Gout tackled the 400-meter and anchored the 4x100-meter relay. It was a bold move, but one that paid off. The stakes were already high. Earlier in the day, Seth Kennedy from Brisbane Grammar had broken Gout's own 200-meter GPS record with a blistering 20.64-second finish. The pressure was on, but Gout didn't flinch. Instead, he delivered a personal best in the 400 meters, clocking in at 46.14 seconds, a new meet record. Kennedy followed closely at 46.64, but Gout's performance stole the spotlight. It was more than a race. It was a legacy-defining moment. And he wasn't done yet. Moments later, Gout returned to the track to anchor Ipswich Grammar's 4x100-meter relay team. The result? Another record, 41.30 seconds. Another win. Another exclamation point at the end of a historic high school career. "This is the place where I found my speed," Gout said, reflecting on the Queensland Sport and Athletics Centre where it all began. "It definitely feels sad, but I'm definitely grateful. Grateful for the school that molded him, the friends who ran beside him, and the coach who guided him every step of the way." Over his time at Ipswich Grammar, Gout set at least 5 GPS records. But it's not just about times, it's about the journey and the way he carried himself through it. And what a journey it's been.
Now he's got a target. Menya moving away from him, Morizzi in the headband. A battle between these two, and Gout working so hard to get to him, and he gets there. Gout takes it by me.
Gout's name started making national headlines months before his final school meet. He broke the Australian 200-meter record, a record that had stood for 56 years. That mark, set by Peter Norman during the 1968 Olympics in Mexico, finally fell when Gout clocked 20.04 seconds in Brisbane. And he wasn't finished. He later lowered it to 20.02. And in wind-assisted conditions, he went even further, 19.84 seconds. Just for context, that's faster than the junior times of sprint legends like Usain Bolt and Justin Gatlin. Let that sink in. Even the 100-meter couldn't hold him back. Under similar tailwind conditions, Gout dipped under the 10-second mark, an unofficial benchmark of world-class sprinting. Every race, every time, he wasn't just winning. He was redefining what was possible. Then came Tokyo.
Lavelle in front, he's winding up the first 3 to go through. Chiramba's there, and he goes through. He was shaky early.
At the World Athletics Championships, Gout made his international debut. Competing against the globe's elite, he didn't shy away. In the 200 meters, he reached the semifinals and finished 4th, running 20.36 seconds in the rain. He missed the final, but the experience was priceless. Semi-finalist and got to compete against the big guys. "I couldn't be prouder of myself," he said. That wasn't just humility talking, it was a signal. Gout Gout isn't a future star, he's already here. But after the adrenaline of world championships and national records, what comes next? That's what has fans buzzing and what makes his latest announcement so huge. He's done with school athletics. The red and white singlet of Ipswich Grammar is now a relic of the past, and Gout's setting his sights on the world stage. "I just can't wait to go on that next journey. For me, it's the world stage," he told reporters. This isn't a farewell, it's a launch. And it's not just Australia that's watching. The international athletics community is taking note. Usain Bolt himself has weighed in, offering caution and encouragement to the rising star. When the fastest man in history pauses to comment on your career, you know you're doing something right. But the road ahead won't be easy. Elite athletics is a different beast. Gone are the predictable routines of school training. Now it's about global travel, professional competition, and the pressure of expectation. Yet if anyone's built to handle it, it's Gout. Even after a short training break following the championships, he returned to break records. That's not just talent, it's discipline. His story is also a tribute to the grassroots foundations that build champions. Without the structured environment of school athletics, the supportive mentorship of coaches like Di Shepherd, and the encouragement of peers, his path might have looked very different. In a way, Gout's rise is as much a victory for community and mentorship as it is for raw talent. He's also becoming a cultural figure, an athlete whose background and identity resonate with a new generation of Australians. In a sporting world that's rapidly diversifying, Gout stands out not just for his times on the track, but for what he represents off it. He's proving that greatness isn't reserved for a select few. It can come from anywhere, and anyone with the drive can make it. The media attention hasn't only focused on his athleticism. Fans and journalists alike have pointed out his humility, maturity, and perspective, rare traits for a teenager in the spotlight. He's active in local youth programs and often shares motivational messages on social media. He speaks not just as a competitor, but as a young leader. Gout's performances have also reignited conversations around sprinting in Australia. A country historically better known for its middle and long-distance runners is now witnessing a shift. He's making sprinting cool again. His raw speed, explosive starts, and clean form are drawing comparisons to global icons. But he's carving his own path, one race, one record at a time. Behind every stride is a lifetime of training compressed into a few explosive seconds. What viewers see on the track is the result of thousands of hours of preparation, grueling workouts, and mental battles few ever witness. Gout's consistency is not just a matter of physical ability, it reflects his deep understanding of what it takes to be great and the discipline to maintain it. The future is wide open. Olympics? Almost certainly. National domination? Already happening. Global stardom? Inevitable if his trajectory continues. But what's just as exciting is the impact Gout is having beyond the track. He's inspiring. To every young athlete watching his rise, Gout represents what's possible with the right mix of talent, support, and relentless drive. He's a product of hard work, good coaching, and a school that believed in him. And he hasn't forgotten that. "I've been at this school since grade 7, and they've definitely helped me," he said. "It's a great school. It's the school where I met my friends and teachers around me." That grounded attitude is rare in someone whose name is already etched in record books. But maybe that's part of his magic. He's human first, sprinter second, and that humility might be his greatest asset as he steps into the chaos of international competition. So what does this huge announcement really mean? It's not just that Gout Gout is leaving school athletics. It's that he's entering a new arena with the kind of momentum most athletes only dream of. He's already broken national records, held his own on the global stage, and brought glory to his school. Now, he's chasing something bigger. He's chasing greatness. And if the last year is any indication, he's not just going to catch it, he's going to redefine it. Gout's story is far from over. In fact, it's just getting started. The world stage is calling, and this teenage rocket from Ipswich is ready to answer. Whether it's the 100-meter, 200-meter, or 400-meter, expect to see his name in headlines, his feet on podiums, and his legacy written in gold. Because when Gout Gout runs, records fall, and the world watches. This 16-year-old kid from Japan just ran faster than Usain Bolt did when Bolt was 20, and now everyone wants to know who he is. His name is Shimizu. He's a high school student from Ishikawa, Japan. And in July 2025, he did something amazing. At a big high school sports meet in Hiroshima, he ran 100 meters in exactly 10 seconds. That might not sound super fast to you at first, but here's the thing. No teenager under 18 had ever run that fast before. Ever. The old record was 10.06 seconds. Two other young runners held that record. Christian Miller from America got it in 2023. So did Purapol Bunsan from Thailand, also in 2023. But Shimizu just blew past both of them. He didn't just break the record, he smashed it. His time was faster than Usain Bolt's best time when Bolt was 20 years old. Yes, that Usain Bolt, the fastest human being who ever lived. When Bolt was 20, his best was 10.03 seconds. Shimizu beat that, and he's only 16.
Please, they're set to win, please. gets a decent start. Nikhil Ashmead is left in the blocks, and so too Usain Bailey. Johan Blake steps away from the rest of the field. Bailey tries to go with him, looks around. It's a 10.
Now, before you think Shimizu beat Bolt's actual world record, let's be clear. Bolt still holds the fastest time ever at 9.58 seconds. He set that in 2009, and nobody has touched it since. But the fact that a 16-year-old kid is already faster than young Bolt, that's something special. So who is this kid anyway? Shimizu is small for a sprinter. He stands just 164 centimeters tall. That's about 5 feet 4 inches. Most great sprinters are much taller. But Shimizu doesn't let that stop him. Both his parents were athletes. His dad was a high jumper who finished 4th at a national competition. His mom ran the 100-meter hurdles at the national level too. So you could say speed runs in the family. In 2023, when he was still in middle school, Shimizu won the 200-meter race at the National Junior Championship. That was his first big win, but nobody really knew his name yet. Then he got to high school in 2024, and everything changed. In his first year of high school, Shimizu ran 10.26 seconds. That might not sound super impressive now, but remember, just 1 year before that, his best time was 10.75 seconds. He got almost half a second faster in just 1 year. That's huge in sprinting. That run set a new national record for his age group in Japan. The old record belonged to Abdul Hakim Sani Brown, a famous Japanese sprinter who's the only Japanese runner to ever make it to a world championship 100-meter final. So beating his record meant something big. But Shimizu wasn't done, not even close. In April 2025, he went to Saudi Arabia for the Asian Under-18 Championships. He won gold in the 100 meters. His time there was 10.38 seconds. Good, but not amazing yet. Then came July. First, he ran 10.19 seconds at one meet. People started paying attention. But the real magic happened at the National High School Championship in Hiroshima. It's the final race. Shimizu lines up against the other fastest high school kids in Japan. The gun goes off, and Shimizu just takes off. He leaves everyone behind. Not by a little bit. By a lot. The second-place runner finished in 10.27 seconds. Shimizu beat him by almost 0.3 of a second. In sprinting, that's like winning by a mile. When Shimizu crossed the finish line, he knew. He threw his arms up and jumped for joy. Then the time flashed on the screen. 10 seconds. Exactly 10 seconds flat. The crowd went wild. After the race, Shimizu told reporters what he was thinking. He said, "I was determined to run under 10 seconds heading into the final. I'm happy to have set a high school record. I'd like to get a taste of it if I can make it." He was talking about the World Championships coming to Tokyo in September. But Shimizu's record wasn't just about being the fastest teenager, it was also about breaking a record that had stood in Japan for 12 years. Back in 2013, a runner named Yoshihide Kiryu ran 10.01 seconds while he was in high school. Kiryu later became the first Japanese person ever to run under 10 seconds. He's a legend in Japan. And now Shimizu had beaten his high school record. That time also made Shimizu the 5th Japanese sprinter of all time. Think about that. All those adult professional runners. And a 16-year-old high school kid is already 5th best in the country's history. So what makes Shimizu so fast? His coach has some answers. Miki Nishino coaches track at Shimizu's high school. He noticed 2 special things about how Shimizu runs. First, Shimizu is amazing at moving his upper body and lower body together at the same time. Everything works in perfect rhythm. Second, when his foot hits the ground, he does it perfectly every single time. He rarely misses his contact point, Nishino said. It's amazing. Shimizu also trains hard to make his shoulder blades more flexible. That helps him move his arms and legs together better. Another expert had even more to say. Professor Shigemori Omori teaches sports science at a university near Shimizu's school. He used to coach Japan's national track team and competed in the 1984 Olympics himself. Omori said the key to Shimizu's speed is his thighs. When you want to run fast, the swing speed of the thighs is going to be the key, he explained. And Shimizu's swing speed of the thighs is probably the fastest among any Japanese. But there's more. Omori also noticed that Shimizu reaches his top speed really fast and keeps it longer than almost anyone. Omori said, "Shimizu is the fastest at top speed compared with any other sprinter in Japan, or he may be in the top 2 alongside Yanagita." Here's where it gets really exciting. Omori thinks Shimizu could get much faster. Right now, when Shimizu's foot touches the ground, it stays there for about 0.08 seconds. But if he could get that down to 0.07 seconds, Omori said he might run somewhere between 9.6 and 9.8 seconds. Let's put that in perspective. A time under 9.8 seconds would make him one of the top 3 runners in the world right now. Only 3 people in history have ever run under 9.7 seconds. Usain Bolt, Tyson Gay, and Johan Blake. That's it. After his record run, everyone wanted to know if Shimizu would compete at the World Championships in Tokyo. The problem was complicated. Japan already had 3 really good sprinters for the individual 100-meter race: Yoshihide Kiryu, Yuhi Mori, and Abdul Hakim Sani Brown.
Early performance there, Japan absolutely tearing away from it. But De Grasse of Canada, look at him on the right-hand side, in the red, but Japan are going to take it, they're going to take it. First qualifying spot, there we go, followed by Canada, then Netherlands in third.
But people started talking about the relay team, the 4x100 meters relay. That's where 4 runners each run 100 meters and pass a baton. Japan is really good at relays. They won a silver medal at the 2016 Olympics. On September 2nd, the announcement came. Shimizu made the team. He was going to run in the relay at the World Championships. The chairman of the Japan Track Federation said he ran at 10.00 seconds even though he is a high schooler. I have high expectations for him as a potential X factor for the relay team. So how does Shimizu handle all this attention? Pretty well, actually. People found out about me, he told reporters in August. I'm aware there are more people watching me now. I feel the support in that regard. It's nice to have people rooting for you. I really don't feel much pressure. But Shimizu isn't just thinking about right now. He's got big plans. He said, I'm 16 now, and next year when I'm 17, I hope to run a sub-10. After that, 3 years down the road when I'm 19, 20, I want to compete at the Los Angeles Olympics. I want to run a 9 while I'm still in high school, so for now, that's what I'm working towards. A 9-second time while still in high school. That would be absolutely incredible. Only a handful of adults have ever done that. But Shimizu believes he can do it.
History! She's driving for the line, and she's done it! 47.80! No
What if the
woman!
thing holding you back from greatness isn't your body, but your mind? 2 Olympic champions just proved that mental toughness beats pure talent every single time. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone stands in the starting blocks at the Tokyo Olympics. She's the American record holder, but not the world record holder. That title belongs to Delilah Muhammad, who's standing right next to her in lane 7. The gun goes off. Both women cross the finish line having broken the world record, but Sydney's time is faster, 51.46 seconds. She finally has her gold medal. Here's what makes this moment incredible. 5 years earlier, this same athlete was a terrified 16-year-old at the Rio Olympics who gave up mid-race because fear took over completely. So what changed? Not her speed, not her technique, her mind. Sydney grew up loving to run. Her parents both ran track, but they never pushed her. She just enjoyed it naturally. Then she started competing, and something dark crept in, a desperate need to win. When she was only 7 years old, she told her dad on the way to a race that she was terrified of losing. Her dad stayed calm and said, if that happens, we'll get some food and go home. Simple as that. But those words didn't stick. The more races Sydney won, the more fear grew inside her. Every victory made the next race scarier. What if I don't win next time? That question haunted her. By junior year of high school, Sydney was running so fast that she made it to the Olympic trials. She was 16 years old, standing in Eugene, Oregon, surrounded by confident professional women with planned-out race strategies. She felt like a timid little girl who didn't deserve to be there. The fear was so bad that she called her dad and begged him to let her quit. He told her she was already there, so just get the experience. At the starting line, her competitive instinct kicked in. She won her heat, then the next one. In the final, she grabbed 3rd place and the last spot on Team USA heading to Rio. But instead of joy, she felt panic. Sydney had dreamed about the Olympics since she was 8 years old, watching American women win gold on TV. Now that dream was real, and all she could think about was losing. At the Rio semifinals, the pressure crushed her. There was talk of an American sweep, 3 American women, all expected to dominate. The weight of those expectations was suffocating. Halfway through her race, something broke. Her will to win just left. Instead of her normal surge at the end, she slowed down. Her Olympics were over. Fear had won. It stole one of the greatest seasons of her life. Fear whispered to her that if she couldn't be perfect, why even try? But here's what Sydney learned later. She was looking at the wrong thing. She defined herself completely by her wins and losses. Nothing else about her mattered if she wasn't winning. Her entire identity was tied to being the fastest. After Rio, things got worse before they got better. In fall of 2018, Sydney moved to Los Angeles to start her professional career. The 400-meter hurdles is one of the most brutal events in track. You need technique, endurance, and pure speed all at once. Her first year as a pro, she missed too many training days. She wasn't disciplined. She struggled clearing hurdles. At Nationals, Delilah Muhammad destroyed her and broke the world record doing it, and Sydney's anxiety went through the roof. At the 2019 World Championships in Qatar, she stuttered on the 8th hurdle but still finished with the 3rd fastest time in history. Delilah ran even faster, breaking her own world record again. Sydney found her dad in the tunnel under the stadium and just sobbed. She was ashamed because she knew she hadn't prepared right. Then, her personal life fell apart too. She tried getting back together with an old boyfriend, thinking that would make her happy. He wasn't interested at all. She felt completely worthless. That's when something clicked. Sydney thought to herself that the only way she would heal was with God. Her parents had raised her in church, but she'd been avoiding God. She had this idea that he was harsh and would demand she give up everything she loved, including running. But her soul was searching for something bigger. She started going to church again. She studied the Bible. One verse hit different. It talked about wisdom being like honey. You can take bitter experiences and find the sweetness in them. Setbacks don't destroy you when you know there's a bigger plan for your future. Sydney's whole approach changed. She met Andre Levrone Jr. through friends in Los Angeles. He's a former NFL player. As their relationship grew, so did her faith. When they got engaged in August 2021, Sydney was already running for a completely different reason. Not for herself, for God. She stopped trying to control everything. She took each day as it came.